June 17th. You know what tonight is? Tonight is the Lakers versus the Celtics, the seventh game. It's the finals, the championship. So I'm going to go watch that, but I just wanted to make this short video because I had some things on my mind concerning boxing. You know, I've been reading all the articles I've been following every day to see if they made any headway with, Mayweather, Pacquiao. And I feel like today, I just feel like from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and listening to Bob Arum use words like I'm optimistic about the fight happening, I think that the fight has been made. Um, I don't think that the details have been worked out yet. Some of the underlying details need to be worked out, but I think that they've reached an agreement and then they need to, just basically put the details on paper and sign the contract and then announce the fight. So until then, you know, nobody's going to know. Obviously, because there's a gag order in place. So people can't talk and say things and sway one side, play one side versus the other and this and that. So I think that that was probably a good thing to do in these negotiations. But, I've been a boxing fan for a long time. I got an opportunity to watch the end of Ali's career and Larry Holmes and Alexis Arguello and Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and, just the list goes on and on and on. I mean, Sweet Pea, Aaron the Hawk Pryor, a lot of people, Roy Jones. Mayweather is probably one of the best fighters that I've ever seen. Can I compare him and say he's the greatest of all times? How do you compare somebody in his weight class to Ali or Tyson or one of those other guys? I think in his class, he's the best to ever do it, period. I don't think the rest even matters. You know what I mean? Because in the end, you couldn't even put him in a virtual fight against Ali because, the weights just don't match up. It's not MMA, in the early days. This is boxing. So, but, again, my personal opinion is that there's just some small details, possibly where they'll be fighting. I think Mayweather is definitely going to be loyal to Vegas. I don't think that he wants to fight in the Stadium Arena. I think that he definitely wants the fight to happen in Vegas. There's no way that the fight will ever happen in the Philippines. I think since Mayweather beat Mosley so handedly that he'll definitely have the upper hand in negotiation. I think that that's the reason of why things are being held up even this long. Even the drug test stipulations, I feel like have been changed. I just don't think that you can dictate when the drug testing is going to start and when it's going to stop. I just don't know if you can actually do that. I don't know if you can dictate a 2-week cutoff. Those things I don't really know about. But I will say this for all the Pacquiao fans: when you look at the timeline, I just want you to ask yourself one question. I want you to get on the internet and I want you to do your research. And I want you to look at hair follicle testing and I want you to look at blood testing and urine testing and tell me what those things do and what they don't do. I already know. I'm looking at the hair follicle test, which is basically taking hair from the roots of your head and having it tested for drugs. Now, drugs will stay in the roots of your head for a very long time, in upwards of 6 to 8 months. So, professional bodybuilders obviously use steroids, and they have to be able to cycle properly in order to not test positive come showtime. Manny Pacquiao, same thing. If you look at the timeline, I think it's been just long enough for him to actually test clean. And that's the reason why he was so avid about not taking the drug test before, and he's willing to actually take it now. Not because he wants this fight any more than he did before. He just is willing to take it because I guess now he's been clean. And if you really look at his last fight, maybe that's the reason why he didn't win as convincingly as he had prior, against De La Hoya and others. And obviously everybody knows who I'm talking about. But, he definitely did not win the fight as decisively as he had, against Cotto and some of the other fighters. So I'm going to leave it at that. welcome to comment. This is definitely friendly. I definitely feel like I know who's going to win that fight before I even watch it. I just don't think that Pacquiao has the accuracy and the tools to beat Mayweather. I think from the layman standpoint, I think that he looks like he could be a challenge, but from my standpoint, he's not a challenge. Do I think it's going to be an easy fight? I mean, it depends on how they fight. It depends on how Pacquiao fights him. I think that no matter what, Pacquiao doesn't have much of a chance. Do I think he'll be knocked out? I think that he could be knocked out. If you look at the fights that he's lost in the past, he's gotten stopped twice, and he's gotten knocked out with a body shot. So I think that anything is possible. The way Mayweather looked against Mosley, had he started a little bit earlier, he probably could have knocked him out. So and that's something that hasn't been done. So people don't call Mayweather a heavy puncher, but it's not that you put one punch together great. It's that you can put a lot of punches together great, and that's what wears on your opponent. Even his corner in Mosley's corner was telling him, "I need you to wake up, son. I need you to wake up." Look at the fight. He definitely was fading. He definitely was getting hit with some hard shots. The right hand was there all night. I mean, he definitely was getting hit with that a lot, and he was getting hit flush, and it was starting to wear on him. There's no question about that. If Mayweather had one or two more rounds, there's no question to me that he would have put Mosley down, and that's something that I've never seen before. So, and again, also, if you look at the second round wobbling of Mayweather, you can look at that one or two ways. Now, you can say, oh, Mayweather is susceptible to being hit, or you can say now all the rumors about him not being able to take a punch are dispelled because he took Mosley's best punch in the second round. Okay, now we all know Mosley is an incredible power puncher, that he has the capabilities of knocking opponents out in later rounds. He knocked Fernando Vargas out in the 10th round, and he knocked Margarito out in the later rounds. He also knocked what's the kid's name? Mayorga. He knocked Mayorga out in the last 30-40 seconds of their fight in the 12th round. So he definitely has incredible stopping power even late in the rounds. I think Mayweather took his heart when he took his best punch in the second round. I don't think Shane was the same after that. So, you guys can look at it either way. You can say, oh, he can get hit and he can get put down. If it was Pacquiao, if Pacquiao had rushed in there, I don't care who it is. If you rush in there like that and with a fighter of Mayweather's caliber, you definitely give him the opportunity to stop you as well. So I think that it was a good thing that Mosley didn't rush in so much. But then he just didn't do anything. He just kind of froze up after that. So, Mayweather definitely took his heart, I feel like, on that one. But, tell me your thoughts and opinions on that. I'd be happy to comment back. I'd be happy to write back, whatever. Leave a video, whatever you want to do. Friendly talks, about boxing. I love boxing, and, anybody out there that loves boxing and wants to talk about it, I'm here. So I'm going to go watch this game at the end of the night. I'll look on here and see who responded, and that's that. So enjoy. I'm out.